Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another Trains with Shane's video. And this week we've got a classic Will It Run episode. Now, those of you that have been with the channel for a while know that I go to the local train show twice a year, mostly. I didn't go this last time, just, again, I wasn't feeling it, I was still in that funk. So, if you look back at the October 2022 show that I went to, I picked up a couple of things, mostly Kansas City Southern, because of the family connection and that they're local. One of the things I picked up, which interestingly is from a vendor, a group of people that were selling a collection from a gentleman whose widow was liquidating his collection because he had passed away some years ago. And I have purchased from them every time that I have seen them at the show. And he was local, so he had a lot of local stuff. Some Kansas City Southern. I think he had some MKT that I bought from him a few years back. And you can go back and find those videos on the channel as well. All of them Will It Runs. I think they were old GP7s, and I think an Alco RS3. Old Atlas / Kato stuff, really early, like 1980s split frame stuff. Good videos, they all ran, they were all DC. So, why do I have this locomotive here? Well, if you guys watched my pickups video from the last time I went to the train show, which was October 2022, I picked up a couple of units from that same, those same people, and this particular locomotive I had actually seen before and passed on. Why did I? I don't know. I might have ran out of money. I might have just bought enough that day. But I was actually very surprised, and I was kind of hoping that I would find it again at this person's table, and I did. And the urgency or the desire to pick it up was because of something that I had purchased previous just off of eBay. And to expand on that, none of the stuff that this person had as far as locomotives and things go had boxes with them. They were all just loose and displayed in holders. And they knew that this was DCC, so I think it was $50, if I remember correctly. And I think the non-DCC stuff was $30. So this wasn't a whole lot of money. It would have been worth $50 for me even if it was DC. But it was at least tagged as DCC, which further enforced my informed intuition, let's say, about what I thought it was. And I'll show you why here in a moment. Okay, so what we've got here, it's an EMD, early E series, E5 or E6, or excuse me, not, yeah, E series, yep, dual prime mover. E5 or E6 in Kansas City Southern, Southern Bell colors. Road number 5. And some good details. There's a missing horn here, but we've got some freestanding grabs on the sides of the doors here, both sides, front and back. Good truck detail, grabs at the back here, movable gasket on the rear. There's your steam generator. It's a little bit dirty, but that's fine. Noticed we have 6-axle here. one pair of traction tires on the rear, which I've never noticed before. The front truck doesn't have those. All 6 axles are geared, as you can tell, and I imagine that all of them except for this most rearward one here probably conduct power. Flywheels in there, so relatively modern-ish chassis here. But what is it? Doesn't say. Doesn't even say made in China or anything on it. At first glance, you might be tempted to think that was an old Kato Concours because of the way that the trucks are attached together here. But let me show you guys a little something. This is a Broadway Limited Imports. Excuse the glare there, Kansas City Southern. E6. Road number 4. Freestanding grabs. Similar looking truck configuration. Let me see if I can find the end that has the info on it. EMD E6A. A-powered with sound and skill. Broadway Limited. Bears a striking resemblance to our fella here that we just picked up. So I was pretty sure that this thing was a BLI unit with DCC, and since it has DCC, it probably had Paragon sound on it. In these, it is Paragon 2. An early-ish sound decoder for them. Guys have talked about BLI decoders either being fantastic or horrible, depending on your experience. There seems to be no middle ground on the opinion of Broadway Limited's Paragon decoders. I haven't had any troubles out of the ones that I've had. Whether that means I'm lucky or what, I don't know, but I've not had any problems. So, what I'm pretty sure we have here is a Broadway Limited E6A. The complimentary road number to number 4 that I've had for over a year now. So for $50, I was more than willing to take a shot at this. And like I said, I was glad that they still had it for me to buy. There are stalls and guys set up at the train shows with tracks and power packs and stuff like that, so you can test your purchases. I didn't bother with any of that because there was a line and my brother and I were kind of in a hurry. We wanted to go eat, and when I'm hungry and when he is hungry, you don't want to stand in our way of food. So, we've got a good looking unit here. What do you say we get this on a test track, find out what it does and what it does not do? I will see you guys over there. Alright, and through the magic of television, we are back. I've got a little piece of Kato track here, Unitrack. This is connected up via my DCC++ EX build that you guys have seen in the past. There has been a lot of development in that area as of late. If you guys go on Facebook and search through the N-Scale Model Railroad groups, there's a fellow named Jack Reagan over there who is offering those little DCC++ EX setups for really reasonably. We're talking 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks, depending on what options you want, and that is a fantastically affordable way to get into DCC. That way you're not paying 200, 250 bucks for a NCE Power Cab or a Digitrax Zephyr or a Loke Pilot, Loke Control. That's what it is, Loke Control. Those are great systems, and I own 2 out of the 3 of those. But if you're just looking for something to get started in, the DCC++ EX thing is really the way to go, and buying one from Jack is what I would recommend if you don't think that you have the technical know-how to put one together and program it yourself. which is what I did, but I'm an IT guy, so that wasn't much of a big deal for me. Anyway, so we have our SCRP client on our iPhone connected up to that. We're going to turn on track power. If you guys can see, let me turn off the lights here real fast. Looks like we have a blinking Mars light and a headlight. That is a good start. I noticed that the phone just auto-corrected for me turning the light off, so that's great. Technology making our lives easy again. Let's turn that back on. Let's see. That's F0. I think well, it'll probably help if we put in our locomotive number. Let's see. Is this set to road number 5? Let's try that first. Yes, looks like F0 is now turning our headlight on and off, so at least our decoder is somewhat functional. What is the startup sequence? Is it F8? Not F8. Let's probably mute F9. Let's say we have a winner there. Startup sequence, you can hear the air pump thumping away. Let's see what we've got here. Those work. Nothing on F3. Air compressor sounds maybe on F4. Here's some radiator fans. May have been notch up and notch down. Radiator dynamic brake fans. It may have been sand filler. Obviously a crossing sequence. Oh, cool. Station intercoms. Last call. Better board that sucker. Wow, that was a pretty long piece of radio comms chatter. That's pretty neat. Let's see if it'll move. Let's see. We have more track behind us than in front of us. Oh, sweet. The direction has like an air throttle or something on it. Let's dial her in. This track is questionable whether it's clean or not. And there we go. Yeah, so there's some opportunities here. Let's turn our track power up. Yeah, not happy. We have some kind of electrical pickup issue. Honestly, that's not that uncommon. So let's go ahead and kill track power here. The decoder does work. The engine moves, so that's good. Is it the lack of cleanliness of our track or lack of cleanliness of wheels and contact strips? Looks like there's some fibers in here, but our wheels look pretty clean. They could probably stand a tidy. Can't tell off the top of my head whether or not these are hardwired or whether they've got contact strips on them like Atlas and Kato units do. So let me reset up here. Let me go get the foam cradle. I'll see if we can get the lid off this thing and see if we can determine what's going on. Let's take a look at our track. Yeah, might be our track. See the state that's in? Yeah, might be our track. Let me clean this stuff off and I'll bring you guys right back. Alright guys, back again. A little bit of track maintenance on the tiny piece of test track we have here. Piece of an old t-shirt. Odorless mineral spirits, which aren't really odorless, but I'd hate to smell non-odorless mineral spirits by comparison. I'm guessing it's pretty ripe. So we're back with this. Just took a minute. SCRP again. Put track power to it. Okay. Let's see if she'll move back a couple. I'd say that's a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, F8 is mute. There it is. Okay, I was wondering which one turned off the prime mover. I've got a booklet for one of these in the box of the other locomotive. But, as they say, ain't nobody got time for that. So, clean track DCC, who would have thought, right? Yeah, will it run? Yes, it will. Will it make sounds? Also, yes, it will. We've identified our little subject here. Unfortunately, and this is something I think is kind of silly about Broadway Limited, is you get this big old box, right? We pop this open. There's only one locomotive cutout in there, which I guess is fine if you're selling in something that isn't an A-B set into just kind of standardized packaging. But man, for a box that big, I really would like to have two locomotive cutouts in it, so I can, put two locomotives in it. So I'm going to need to find a storage solution for this. I'm willing to bet that I can probably get a box from a Kato E8 or something like that, and it probably wouldn't be too big of a stretch for it to fit. So I might try that out. Guys, if you have one of those spare sitting around, a box for a Kato E8, and you don't need it for one reason or another, post a note on here and let me know. I will definitely be willing to tithe a couple of dollars to the effort and shipping, and get that over here to put this thing into. So, very happy with this purchase. I guess it's lucky that we got a BLI locomotive with a working decoder. Hey guys, is it luck? Or is it just that the people who have had bad experiences tend to be louder than the people who have had good experiences, as with most things? I don't know. I'm still an ESU Loke sound guy myself. So I think that's going to do it for this Will It Run episode on Trains with Shane. Again, I want to thank you guys for sticking with me and dealing with the 6-month hiatus I took from the channel, at least as it pertains to posting new content. I've been active in the comments and replying to you guys as often as you post comments to the videos. So let me know what you think of this thing. Are you a Kansas City Southern fan? Are you sad that as such it is a fallen flag now that they've merged with was it Canadian Pacific or Canadian National? I think it's Canadian Pacific. But yeah, are you guys happy or sad that that has happened? I'm kind of sad because, as some of you guys know, I had a great uncle and a second cousin who worked for Kansas City Railroad all their lives. That Uncle Boyd, he passed away about a month and a half ago. That was pretty tough. But he was a railroad man, and what a great person. I wish that we had spent more time with him when I was younger. Always make time to go see your relatives, folks, especially those that are getting on in age. They've got stories to tell, and those stories should be remembered, especially for our purposes here, stories about the railroad. So, I've rambled long enough. I want to thank you guys for joining me on an episode of Will It Run on Trains with Shane. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you soon.